Unit number 4, memory organization. Learning outcome behind this session is classify various types of memory. Subtopics for the today's sessions are memory classifications and introduction, means you will learn what is RAM, ROM, PROM and EPROM. So first we will see the memory classification. So memory is classified into the 4 categories, that is registers, primary memory, cache memory and secondary memory. This primary memory is further classified between the read-write memory and read-only memory. So in this primary memory, that is near to the CPU, and that is made up of two kinds of memory, that is read-write memory and read-only memory. Read-write memory, in this kinds of memory you may perform read as well as write operation. This is further classified into the two categories, that is static RAM and dynamic RAM. RAM stand for random access memory, means you can access your data on random basis. Now this static and dynamic, we will see these two types in details in next slides. Now read-only memory. Read-only memory, that is example of a permanent memory, or you can say the non-volatile memory. So this read-only memory, in read-only memory you can perform just only the write operation. So first it's have a different categories like mask ROM, PROM, EPROM, double EPROM and flash ROM. We will discuss all this ROM in detail in next slides. But in this 5 types, first two, that is mask ROM and PROM, that is example of permanent memory, means once you write on this types of ROM you cannot delete it. But in this 3 types, EPROM, double EPROM and flash ROM, you may update the content by using different devices. So this is the primary memory classification. Now secondary memory. The secondary memory is also known as the auxiliary memory, so, or you can say the backup storage. So the secondary memory is an example of non-volatile memory, means here you can say that this is example of permanent memory. So this types of memory is further divided between the two parts, that is serial access and semi-random access. Now serial access means what? Your data is accessed in serial mode, and semi-random access means what? You can access your data as per your requirement. Now in serial access mode there are lots of types of memory that is comes into this part, but here I have mentioned the just only the two, that is magnetic tap. This magnetic tap in which you can access your data in serial mode, that is example of your song cassette. Then charge couple drive. So here it is made up of different kinds of materials in which you can store your data in serial mode, and you can access your data again in serial mode. It's have some kinds of logic area and these things are used. Now semi-random access. In semi-random access, it's have a different kinds of memories are there, but here I have mentioned the very few, that is the disk. Okay, in disk you can access your data, means disk stand for, means whenever you have written disk, then it's have a direct access. Okay, then further examples are CD, compact disc, then DVD, then HD stand for hard disk, floppy disk. These are the example of the secondary memory. So in this unit you will learn in detail what is registers, how this data can be stored in registers, primary memory, cache memory and secondary memory in detail. In registers you can store your data in bits, right? Cache memory have a size greater than the register but less than the primary memory. Primary memory have a size greater than the cache memory but less than the second memory, and secondary memory have a greater, means it's have a higher storage capacity compared to other memory. Now we will see the RAM. Okay, RAM stand for the random access memory. So RAM is the one of the faster types of memory accessed directly by the CPU. So main memory, if you are talking about RAM or a ROM, that is directly accessed by CPU. So the hardware in the computer device to temporarily store the data, programs or a program results in RAM. So basically RAM is used to store the temporary data that is used during your program execution. So in RAM you can perform read and write operations. RAM is example of volatile memory, means whenever you will turn off your PC or you sometimes it is a power of your PC, means power is gone, then your data is gone. If you have not saved your data, then this data will be deleted. There are two types of RAMs are available, that is SRAM and DRAM. S stand for the static RAM and D stand for the dynamic RAM. Now first we will see the DRAM, that is dynamic random access memory. So it is the type of RAM that is used for dynamic storage of data in RAM. So here basis on which kind of implementation is there, it's have a two types. So in dynamic RAM, that is implementation is based on dynamic. So in this case, in this kinds of RAM, capacitors and transistors are used to store your data. So here each cell carries the 1 bit information, or as per the size of your RAM, there are number of capacitors and transistors are used to store that data. The size of capacitor and transistor is so small and requiring millions of them to store on a single chip. The capacitor needs to be continuously refreshed to retain the information because dynamic RAM is volatile. So if the power is switched off, the data stored on this memory is lost. So whenever you are using a dynamic RAM to implement any memory, means whenever you are using dynamic RAM, you have to provide power continuously to retain the information in that memory. So once you switch off the power, your data will be lost. So this is the concept of dynamic random memory. Now static random access memory, that is SRAM. So this type of RAM is used to store the static data in the memory. It means it stores the data in SRAM remains active as long as the computer system has a power supply. Means once you turn off your computer, again your data will be gone. But here it's not required continuous power. Means in previous one, in dynamic RAM, you have to continuously gives the power to dynamic RAM, but in SRAM it is not required, so it's consume the less power compared to the dynamic RAM. But SRAM, that is static RAM, that is expensive than the dynamic RAM because it's built using the complex structure. That's why it's required more money compared to the dynamic RAM. And the size of this SRAM is smaller than compared to the dynamic RAM. Okay. Now we will see the comparison between SRAM and dynamic RAM. So first SRAM, that is the static random access memory, and DRAM, that is dynamic access memory. The access time of SRAM is slow, whereas dynamic RAM have a high access time. So SRAM is implemented by using flip-flop to store the each bit of information, where in DRAM it is used capacitors. It does not require periodic refreshing to preserve the information, but in dynamic RAM it is used capacitors, that's why it is required periodically refreshing. That's why it will consume low power, whereas DRAM consumes more power compared to SRAM. It uses to implement cache memory it is used in main memory. So basically the main usage of SRAM, that is static RAM, that is most of the time if you are making a cache memory, then that is made up of SRAM. Whereas DRAM, that is used for the main memory. Now the cost of SRAM is greater than the DRAM, so you can say that that is expensive, where DRAM, that is less expensive compared to the SRAM. It's have a complex, SRAM have a complex structure, or DRAM that have a very simple structure, and that we have discussed, it's consume the low power where DRAM consume the more power. So this is the difference between SRAM and DRAM. Now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of RAM. So first, RAM, that is a faster type of memory. Okay, it required less power to operate. It loads the program much faster than compared to others memory. If your CPU contain more RAM, then it increase the performance of a system and can multitask, means your CPU can do multitasking. By using RAM, you can perform read as well as write operations. Now disadvantages. So less RAM, if your CPU does not contain any kind of RAM, then it will reduce the speed and performance of a computer. Due to the volatile nature, it requires electricity to preserve the data. So here it is a volatile, so that is this become the disadvantages. It is expensive compared to the ROM. So it is unreliable as compared to ROM. Why it is unreliable? Because whenever you turn off your PC, your data will be gone. That's why it's become unreliable. And the size of RAM is limited. That's why it's become the disadvantage. It means you cannot store your whole data on RAM. So its size must be limited, and it is expensive too. Now we will see the concept of ROM. So ROM, that is stand for read-only memory. It permanently stores the information inside the chip. Means once you store your data in ROM, you cannot delete it. It's known as the read-only memory. ROM contains some so in ROM, it contains some important instructions or the program that are required to start or a boot computer. So basically ROM is a part of your main memory in which you can store your bootstrap loader. Okay, so by bootstrap loader, your computer can identify which part is going to be first executed. So this is example of the non-volatile memory. Now this ROM is further classified into the 5 different categories. So we will discuss it one by one. So first, that is MROM, that is masked ROM, that is ROM stand for read-only memory. So this masked ROM, that is the oldest type of read-only memory. So in which once you write your data in ROM, you cannot delete it. So here in this masked ROM, your program or a data that is written on ROM, that is done, means this program or a data is pre-configured by the integrated circuit manufacturers at the time of manufacturing. Means whenever your chip is manufactured, at that time your data is written on that chips. After that you cannot edit it. So here programmer cannot write on this read-only memory. So at the manufacturing time, manufacturer can write the data in this kinds of ROM. Now PROM, that is programmable read-only memory. So in this types of digital read-only memory, in which user can write any type of informations or a program on that kind of chips, but only once. Means in previous one, only manufacturer can write the data, but in this programmable ROM, programmer can write the data but by using different kinds of devices. So here I have displayed the one device in which you can write the data in PROM. So the user can write the desired content or a program only once by using the special kinds of programming device. So here the some burning process is implemented in the chip. So here you can see the chips and device. Okay. So once you write something into these chips, you cannot delete it. Now second one, that is EEPROM. So E stand for erasable and programmable read-only memory. So in this kinds of PROM, you may delete your data. See, in previous one, deletion is not allowed, but in this case, you can delete your data. The stored data can be erased and reprogrammed only once in the EEPROM memory. So in EEPROM, if we want to erase any stored data and reprogram, first we need to pass the ultraviolet light for 40 minutes to erase the data. After that, the data is recreated in EEPROM. So this is the tools by using you can write the content in EEPROM. If you want to delete it, then you have to provide the ultraviolet rays for 40 minutes to delete the saved data, and then you can rewrite it. So this is the EEPROM. Now double EEPROM. So double EEPROM, that is electrically erasable and programmable read-only memory. So in previous one, in EEPROM, you required ultraviolet rays to delete the data, but in this one, by using the electric current, you can delete the data. So in this one, this memory is used to erase stored data using a high voltage electrical charge and reprogram it. Means here high voltage is used to delete the data. So in EEPROM, the stored data can be erased and reprogrammed up to 10,000 times, and means 10,000 times basic. You can delete your data as per your requirement, but here the data erasing is done byte, one byte at a time. So you have to delete your data byte by byte. So it takes more time for the deletion. Then next, that is example of flash. Next category, that is the flash ROM. So sometimes it is also known as the flash memory. So flash memory is a non-volatile storage memory chips that can be written or programmed in small units called the block sectors, called a block or a sectors. So this flash ROM, that is the same as a double EEPROM, but here you can delete or insert your data as per the block. Just for example, see in previous one, in double EEPROM, your data will be deleted byte by byte, but here you can do this thing on particular block. So flash memory is an double EEPROM form of the computer memory, and the content of data cannot be lost when power source is turned off. So this is example of non-volatile memory. All the ROM, ROM means this is the fifth type. So all this fifth type, that is example of non-volatile memory. So it is also used to transfer data between the computer and digital devices. So this right now flash memory used everywhere. Now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of ROM. So this is example, first we will discuss the advantages. So this is the example of non-volatile memory. It is static, so it does not require refreshing the content every time. Okay, so it requires less power. Data can be stored permanently. It's easy to test and store the large data as compared to RAM, because RAM have a smaller in capacity. Once you write the wrong informations in ROM, then you cannot delete it. It is cheaper than RAM. It is simple and reliable as compared to RAM, and it helps to start the computers and loads the operating system. So in Bootstrap loader, ROM is used. Now disadvantages. So it stores the data cannot be updated or modified except to read the existing data. It is slower memory than RAM to access the stored data. Means access times of ROM is greater than the RAM. So whenever you want to delete the data in ROM, in some types of ROM deletion is allowed. So it takes 40 minutes to destroy the any kind of data. So if you by mistake you did some by mistake you write wrong data on ROM and you want to delete it, then it takes more time compared to the RAM. So these are the disadvantages, but this disadvantages cannot. Okay, so this is the ROM. Now difference between RAM and ROM. First, that is RAM. It is random access memory. This is read-only memory. So in RAM, read-only operations can be performed. Here you can perform just only read operations. So this is example of the volatile memory. This is example of the non-volatile memory. This RAM is faster but expensive. ROM, that is slower and less expensive. So in RAM, the storage data requires to be refreshed. Here the refreshment is not required. The size of the chip is bigger than the ROM chips because it's have a complex structures and something like that. But in ROM, the size of chip is smaller compared to the RAM. There are different kinds of types are that is RAM, dynamic RAM, static RAM, and here we have a different kinds of 5 types of ROM are there. Thank you.